Oisín and Patrick from Lady Gregory's Complete Mythology. Chapter 1. Oisín's Story. As to Oisín, it was a long time after he was brought away by Niamh that he came back to Ireland again. Some say it was hundreds of years he was in the country of the young, some say it was thousands of years he was in it. But whatever time it was, it seemed a short time to him. And whatever happened to him through all the time he was away, it is a withered old man he was found after coming back to Ireland, and his white horse going away from him, and he lying on the ground. And it was St. Patrick had the power at that time, and it was to him that Oisín was brought, and he kept him in his house, and used to be teaching him and asking him questions. And Oisín was no way pleased with the way that Ireland was then, but he used to be talking of the old times and fretting after the Fianna. And Patrick bade him to tell him what happened to him the time that he left Finn and the Fianna and went away with Niamh. And it is the story Oisín told. The time I went away with the golden-haired Niamh, we turned our backs on the land, and our faces westward, and the sea was going away before us, and filling up in waves around us. And we saw wonderful things on our journey, he said. We saw cities and courts and dunes and the limehouse horses, and the sea went Luppaton, Lappaton, Luppaton, Lappaton, and the shining sunny houses and palaces around the big houses. And one time we saw beside us a hornless deer running hard, and an eager white-eared hound running after it. And another time we saw a young girl on a horse and having a golden apple in her right hand, and she going over the tops of the waves, Luppaton, Lappaton, Luppaton, Lappaton. And there was a following after her, a young man riding a white horse and having a crimson cloak and a gold hilted sword on his right hand. Follow on with your story, pleasant Oisín, said St. Patrick, for you did not tell us yet what was in this country of the young that you went to. The country of the young, Tirnanog, the country of victory it was, says Oisín. And Patrick, he said, there is no lie in that name, and if there are grandeurs in your heaven, the same as there are there, well, I would gladly give my friendship to your God. We turned our backs on the dune, he said, and the horse was under us, Luppaton, Lappaton, Luppaton, Lappaton, going over the waves, quicker than the spring wind on the backs of mountains. And it was not long before the sky darkened and the wind rose in every part, and the sea was on fire as the sun was burning down into it. But after we were looking through the clouds and the stars for a while, the wind went down, and the storm, and the sun brightened again from the other side, and we saw before us a very delightful country, under full blossom, and smooth plains in it, and a king's dune that was very grand, and it had every colour in it, and the sunny houses beside it, and the palaces of shining stones made by skilled men. And we saw coming out of this place, but to meet us but 350s of armed men, that's 150 men, very lively and handsome they were. And I asked to Niamh, was this the country of the young? She said, yes indeed, Oisín, Shohé Tirnanog. And I told you no lie about it, and you will see all I promised you before you now and ever. And there came out of that 100 beautiful girls having cloaks of silk worked with gold, and they gave me a welcome to their own country. And after that there came a great shining, and with that a strong beautiful king, having a shirt of yellow silk and a golden cloak over it, and a very bright crown on his head. And there was a following after him, a young queen, and 50 young girls along with her. And when all were come out on the one spot, the king took me by the hand, and he said, out before all before him, 100,000 welcomes, Céad Míle Fáilte before you, Oisín, son of Finn, and to this country Tirnanog you are welcome to now, he said. I will tell you news of it without a lie. It is long and lasting your life will be in it, and if you yourself will be young forever, and there is no delight the heart ever thought of, he said, but it is in here against your coming. And you can believe my words, Oisín, he said, for I am myself the king of the country, Smishirí Tirnanog, and this is its comely queen, and it was the golden-headed Niamh, our daughter, that went far over the sea looking for you, her husband to be, forever. So I gave thanks to them, and I stooped down myself, and I stooped down before the queen, and we went forward to the royal house, and all the high nobles came out to meet us, both men and women. And there was a great feast made, and through the length of 10 days and nights we were feasting. And that's the way I married the golden-headed Niamh Kenore. And that's the way I went to the Tirnanog. And although it is sorry for me to be telling it now, Patrick of Rome, follow on with your story, Oisín, said Patrick, and tell me what way did you leave this Tirnanog, for it is long to tell me that I hear that. And tell us now, had you any children with this Niamh Kenore? And was it long you were in that place? We had 3 children I had with Niamh, said Oisín, 2 sons and a comely daughter. And Niamh gave the 2 sons the name of Finn and Oscar. And the name I gave to the daughter was Blóithín, the flower. And I did not feel the time passing, and it was not a long time I stopped there at all, Patrick, till the desire came on me to see my father Finn and the comrades again. And I asked Niamh, I asked her, I said, Niamh, I need leave of this place. I asked leave of the king and Niamh to go back to Ireland. You will get leave from me, she said, but for all that, it is bad news you are giving me, for I am in dread you will never come back here to Tirnanog again the length of your days. But I bade her have no fear, since the white horse would bring me safe back again from Ireland. Bear this in mind, Oisín, she said. If you once get off this horse while you are away, if you once put your foot on the ground, you will never come back here again. And oh, Oisín, she said, I tell you now for the 3rd time, if you once get down from the horse, you will be an old man, blind in no time. If you once get down off the horse, you will be blind and withered, without liveliness, without mirth, without running, without leaping. And it is a grief to me, Oisín, she said, you ever go back to Green Ireland, and it is not now as it used to be, you see. You will not see Finn MacCool and his Fianna, for there is now in the whole Ireland but one father of orders and an army of saints. And here is my kiss for you, pleasant Oisín, she said, for you will never come back to Tirnanog again. And that's my story, Patrick, as I have told you no lie in it, said Oisín. Patrick, if I was the same the day I came here that I was that day, I would have made an end to you and all your clerks, and there would be not a head left on any neck after me. Go on with your story, said Patrick, and you will get the same good treatment from me you got from Finn, for the sound of your voice is pleasing to me. So Oisín went on with his story, and this is what he said. I have nothing to tell of my journey till I came back into Green Ireland, and I found about me then on all sides, but there was no tidings to be got of Finn. And it was not long till I saw a great troop of riders, men and women, coming towards me from the west. And when they saw me, they wished me good health, and there was a wonder on them. And they looked at me, and seeing me that I was so like themselves, being so big and tall that I am, I asked them, did they ever hear of Finn MacCool, and was he still living, or any one of the Fianna, or what happened to them? And they said, we often heard of Finn MacCool that lived long ago, and there was never his equal in strength or bravery or a great name, and there is many a book written down, they said, but by the sweet poets of the Gael, about his doing and the doings of the Fianna, and it would be hard for us to tell you all of them. And we heard of Finn had a son that was beautiful and shining, and there came a girl looking for him, and he went off with that girl to Tirnanog, the country of the young. And I knew by their talk that Finn MacCool, my father, was not living, or any of the Fianna not living any more. It was downhearted I was, and tired, and very sorrowful after them. I made no delay, but I turned my face, and I went to all Muhan of Leinster, and there was great wonder on me when I came to see no sign of all Finn's great doing at all, and around his great hall nothing in the place but weeds and nettles. And there was great grief on Oisín then. Oh, Patrick, oh, chun, my grief. Oh, it is a bad journey that was with me then. Bad. And to be without tidings of Finn or the Fianna left me under pain in my lifetime. The pain of it. Leave off fretting, Oisín, said Patrick, and shed your tears to the God of grace. Finn and the Fianna are slack enough now, and they will get help. Forever. It is a great pity that would be, said Oisín. Finn to be in pain forever, and who it is gave the victory over him when his own hand made an end to so many of a fighter. It is God gained victory over Finn, said Patrick, and not the strong hand of an enemy. As to the Fina, they are condemned to hell along with him and tormented forever. Oh, Patrick, said Oisín, show me the place where Finn and his people are, and there is not a hell or heaven, but I won't put it down. And if Oscar, my own son, is there, the hero that was the bravest in heavy battle, there is not hell or heaven of God, a troop so great that he could not destroy it. Leave off quarrelling on each side now, said Patrick. Go on, Oisín, with your story. What happened after you knew the Fina had become to an end? I will tell you that, Patrick, said Oisín. I was turning to go away, and I saw the stone through the Fina. It was kind of a trough where they used to be putting their hands in, and washing their hands, and it used to be full of water. And when I saw it, I got such a wish and such a feeling for it. I forgot what I was told, and I got off the horse, and the minute I touched the ground, all those years came on me, and I was suddenly lying on the ground, and the horse took fright and went away and left me there, an old man, weak and spent, without sight in me, without shape, without comeliness, without strength or understanding, without respect. There, Patrick, that is my story for you now. That's how I've come to be an old man like this, with one foot in the grave. And there's no lie in that story of all that happened to me, going away and coming back again from Tír na nÓg, the country of the young.